Hey, what's going on, everybody? I was going to do this video outside. It's a gorgeous day, but unfortunately the batteries in my video camera died, so I am left to upload via my crappy webcam. For that, I apologize. Real quick today, I wanted to discuss crucifixion and how the New Testament account of Jesus' crucifixion contradicts history. I'm going to be reading from the NSAB Study Bible, and if you could turn your Bibles to Deuteronomy 21:22 and 21:23. This section of Deuteronomy deals directly with domestic relations regarding Yahweh's covenant and His law. And it goes as such: if a man has committed a sin worthy of death, and he is put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his corpse shall not hang all night on the tree, but you shall surely bury him on the same day, for he who is hanged is accursed of God, so that you do not defile your land, which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance. So, if they're going to impale or crucify somebody or fixate somebody to a tree, they have to remove them before the night is over. This is what we find in New Testament accounts. Jesus is stuck by the Roman centurion to verify he is dead, and then they take him down from the cross. Now, it's important to understand the word tree that's being used. It is the NIV, I believe, that renders this word as pole or stake, whereas all others render it as tree. Well, if we take a look at Strong's Concordance, who also happens to have the word tree, and it's been cross-referenced between the NSAB and the KJV, the Hebrew word being used is eitz. Eitz is a word that physically means tree, but more importantly, fixated upon a tree. So what Yahweh and Moses are talking about in Deuteronomy is the act of a criminal being fixated or impaled, I should say. They're talking about impalement because it is a Roman invention regarding crucifixion upon a crux or cross. That was purely a Roman invention. Herodotus, the famous 3rd and 4th century BCE Greek historian, frequently discussed in his histories. He talked about impalement, but more importantly, he recollected an account that was handed down to him regarding the Assyrians. It said that they, impaled thousands upon thousands of people in one day. It was believed to be, not physically true, but then there was an archaeological find some years ago that actually verified Herodotus' account. I wanted to go back even farther to the Essenes and their Dead Sea Scrolls. I don't know why they put Bible on the cover, because it's not a Bible in the sense that the New Testament and the Christian Bible is. They're scrolls. It's not a Bible, but that's besides the point. And I'm going to be reading from the Dead Sea Scrolls as well. Now, the important thing is that the Deuteronomy text that the Essenes wrote, their oldest copy that they carbon dated here, is roughly 1,000 years earlier than this. So what I'm trying to portray here is accuracy of this specific account. And the Essenes wrote this: when someone is convicted of a capital offense and is executed, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night on the tree, but you shall indeed bury him that same day. For anyone who is hanged under God's curse, you must not defile your land which the Lord your God is giving to you as an inheritance. For the most part, it's pretty similar to what we find. They do use the word tree, and they're talking about impalement. This is Yahweh's law spoken through Moses and deals with the Israelites' covenant. The point I'm trying to make here is that the New Testament writers uphold this known covenant and law put forth by Yahweh. Therefore, they depict in the Gospels Jesus being removed from the cross the same day. We all remember the Roman centurion who stuck him in the rib to verify that he was dead. They took him down from the crux, and then they expedited his, hastily moved him to a tomb in secrecy because they didn't want anybody to know where he was buried. And they even had somebody watch guard. Anyway, the whole point of this is yes, the New Testament portrays the act of Jesus' crucifixion as it pertains to old Jewish law and Yahweh's covenant, dealing directly with that. However, in doing so, the New Testament writers provide yet another example of why the Bible is not inerrant and it is not infallible. It is fallible and it is errant. The simple fact is the Romans would never, ever, ever, ever remove anybody from the crux on the same day so that he could have a proper burial. You have to remember that those being crucified are viewed as enemies, criminals, felons, defiled people from society. When Rome would war with its neighboring states as the empire was expanding, it is commonly known that they would take their enemy and they would litter the roads between the two cities with the enemy being hanging from a crux. They would die. And that's my water pump going off, so I apologize. But the whole point here is, by the New Testament writers trying to uphold old and maintain old Jewish law, they've contradicted Roman history, because they would never, ever, ever remove anybody down from a crux. They would let them hang up there, they would let them rot, they would let them get picked away and eaten by crows and vultures and everything else, and they would literally turn to bones, and they'd cease to exist. It's just ludicrous that Jesus would be taken down from the cross on the same day. Absolutely ludicrous. Another example why the Bible contradicts itself on a chapter-by-chapter basis.